Holy grab
to no-handed lander, like that. That's a great combo
and
for the right
a
side
little
up.
rock solid as well. So, you know, and that's another thing, you know, you don't have to necessarily go upside down. You can have a lot of combos, and there are guys that are doing double and triple combos in their tricks. So judges like to see that as well. Nice big flatliner, stretched that one out really well. David Rinaldo, I mean, all things considered, the adrenaline is probably working in his favor to help him hold on to that bike. A pretty good run in round number 1 here, and we'll see if the judges liked it and if the other 4 riders that are still to come will manage to put down a good run as well.
Well, we always talk about it, and being the first rider out is basically the worst spot you can be.
Yeah.
The judges are not warmed up. Their pencils are not warmed up, even though they don't really use pencils. And it's just tough. They have to set the bar on where they think the rest of the night is going to go based on what they see out of the first rider. And this was a pretty good run, considering he could only do this one upside-down trick. Now, if you look at him, that was basically a perfect Superman seat grab backflip. He was perpendicular to the bike, maybe a few degrees elevated, but we're going to see Levi doing basically a backflip heart attack tonight. We're going to see a few of these guys really stretching that trick out. So I think a Remi Bizouard especially is going to maybe outclass that one trick.
Yeah, in this particular case, yeah. I mean, you know, and Remi Bizouard is also riding in this first round too. We should mention that Remi Bizouard got second at our last event in Osaka when he managed to beat Dany Torres in the semifinal and moved on to the final against Levi Sherwood, who did eventually win the event there. And Remi Bizouard didn't have the showing that I think he wanted to have yesterday during the qualification round. But, you know, like you say, Andy, Remi has such a fantastic repertoire of tricks in this particular round. He can really excel because he is so committed to each of those tricks and extending them properly.
He is, but as we talked to him earlier on today, he said he's worried. It's really difficult to bring 6 sensational, the best of the best right side up tricks. I mean, these guys haven't really focused on right side up tricks very much in the last 6 years of freestyle motocross. So that's a difficult thing.
You know, it's almost automatic to go out there and start throwing flip variations in a round like this, but it's an interesting rule that they've instituted here for these riders just to get it back to the old school a little bit. And Remi Bizouard starts right away with a big heart attack, or excuse me, kiss of death tsunami flip. So that's his joker right out of the gate.
And he did it over the 115-foot gap, the biggest jump on the course. He boosted that. If you watch, he probably went 130 feet. He went about halfway down that in run, and we get a little Super Can Indy to side saddle lander. It's so hard to see all these combos from as far away as we are, but that's a pretty good combo. You have to be creative in this round.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no just doing the basic tricks, and there he really tweaks up that 9 o'clock knack flatliner style, but that's a lot of style there.
Yeah, lots of style going on there, and that's the thing that's really important here is to throw out the style, and the flexibility is also key. You know, he really committed to that ruler, and he scorpioned those legs way over, and that says a lot about how much he's putting into this run here in round number 1.
Well, he really got massive extension considering he did that off the little super kicker, so that was really, really nice. And then finishes off with a holy grab, kind of starting off the side of the bike and then floating back to a double grab. Really nice combo there. Remi, excellent run.
Yeah.
There really wasn't much to pick apart there. He started off big. The judges like that. You want to start off big and finish big, and that's exactly what Remi just did.
Well, that's the thing, you know, committing to the run and starting off with that big
Here we go. Look at that.
Flip,
look at that slow motion. Just 115 feet through the air.
And high. He had lots of amplitude.
He boosted about halfway down the landing there. And now we're going to check out a few more. There's that side saddle lander. You're going to see quite a few of those tonight. These guys are just really looking for every opportunity. And that was really one of the best looking flatliners I've ever seen. Really tweaking it up.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, that's the thing about Remi. He's one of those guys that's a bit of a perfectionist. He gets out on the course, and before he'll go out on the course and put down a competition run, he likes to have his lines clear and outline in his mind and on his trick pad. So I think that, this is going to be a good scoring run for Remi. We may even see him getting a little bit of a better score than David Rinaldo. Of course, we won't know the scores until after all 5 of the riders have gone, and we will then be told who is going to be going on to the next round.
I'm going to call on some of my old judging experience from Red Bull X Fighters and say absolutely Remi's run outclassed Rinaldo.
Yeah.
He just pushed a little harder, I think. He tweaked everything out a little bit further. As we get a look at Dany Torres, we are in his house.
Yeah, this is his house. What was it that we heard? This is the house Dany built, I mean, it's kind of true, isn't it?
It is, but hey, speaking of guys that are absolute maniacs on a bike, Libor Podmal, he is a rider from the Czech Republic that really has stepped up his smoothness game.
Absolutely.
He kind of reminds me of Rob Adelberg. He was willing to throw down, but he's really smoothed out here in the last little bit. And check out that, a surfer takeoff into a tsunami backflip off the super kicker. Now that is a way to start a run.
Yeah,
I could imagine going at a ramp and standing on my seat
and then he goes
to do a backflip.
Yeah, I mean, what's he thinking, right? And then he goes for the cliffhanger to no-hander lander, otherwise known as a base jumper. And here with these super steep landings, that's really risky. And I think the judges are really going to like this run so far. I mean, he's putting a lot into this. Not as smooth or maybe as lazy looking. And I mean, I say lazy, meaning, nice slow rotations, holding the tricks
lazy
long.
in a good way.
Yeah,
lazy in a way that our style judge is actually going to appreciate.
Yeah, like Remi Bizouard. But then again, there's a lot of craziness in his run, and the judges appreciate that as well as he goes for the Superman C-grab, rock solid combo there.
Yeah, getting a little Indian air in there. That's like a 4-part combo right there. And you got to throw it all down. This is going to be his last jump. A big flatline combo off the double backflip ramp, which he's the only other person that's actually hit that ramp.
Yeah, and he
does a transfer. Yeah, that, you know what? Use of course, that is 1/5 of the judging criteria here. Yeah. And that is going to put him head and shoulders above anyone we've already seen tonight.
Yeah, and the other thing too is the energy, entertainment, and excitement aspect. Another part of the judging criteria. He really played with this crowd and he got into it. So I think, and Remi's always been a crowd favorite wherever he goes. He's just one of those guys that people like to watch and have fun with, and he has a good time with the crowd too.
Nice on the base jumper. He thought about bar checking a couple times, but never even puts his hands down. That's what I love about this super slow motion. Look at that.
Yeah.
Sidewinder.
That's
no
one of the
hands.
best. That's one of the best tricks for him as well. He just loves that one. And every time he does it, he just hangs everything out there.
And here we go. Look at that one-handed Superman C-grab Indian air into rock solid, back on the bike. Pretty solid landing. We're going to watch these guys. You don't want to see that front tire elevated too much over the back tire when they're touching down. The judges are going to really notice that. And they're finishing off the transfer and a really solid trick off the transfer as well. So that will score well.
And I mean, you could see from that particular angle, it's tough to see, how flat these guys actually get the bike and their body in that trick. And that angle really illustrates how completely flat they get the bike when they do a trick. And the transfer just made that all the more interesting.
Well, this is almost a game as large a part of this game right now in round number 1 is about mathematics as it is about your riding. I mean, you have to put down the run, but you have to think, where can I get 1/10 of a point here? Where can I get another 1/2 a point there? And if it's on use of course, these guys got to remember, sometimes you get caught up in the heat of battle out there, but you have to remember that there is a use of course judge. There is a form and flow judge. There is a style judge. There are all these guys, and each one is marking something different. And
wow,
not a bad start there for Adelberg.
Robbie Adelberg taking a page from the other 2 guys there and just jumping in right away with that big backflip to get himself that
115-foot
that initial point set.
Cliffhanger backflip is a massive way to start, and he really extended that well. You'll hear us harp a little bit on the cliffhanger backflip, straightening the hips, straightening the legs. He popped that thing out, and it was beautiful.
And that last jump, a nice one-hand hard attack, really great stretch. And then the cliffhanger to no-hander lander. So basically right now what he's doing is he's matching Libor's run trick for trick. And I think if we compare the cliffhanger or the base jumpers, we're going to give this one to Rob Adelberg by maybe just a little bit of that bar check point.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely looking good. Gives the crowd a wave there, just trying to get that another 1/10 of a point out of the judge's energy judge, and really, really holds on to that tsunami there. And that's going to do it for Adelberg, but really, really, really solid run out of him. If I had to bet, I would say he might be taking the lead right now. We have one rider left, but Adelberg's a guy, he's won one of these competitions in the last 2 years.
Los Angeles in Glen Helen last year.
Yeah,
actually.
he can be a front runner, and he's got the bag of tricks to do it. So he's got to do what is look at this. Really, really straightens up like our old pal Bilko when he started doing this trick years ago. Straight up and down, hands extended, leaves his arms out, and it's over the 115-foot gap.
Yeah, that's the biggest jump we got on course here, and I mean, that takes a lot of gumption to do that one.
That's over 1/3 of a football field upside down, Troy.
Yeah.
Not the football you guys watch in Germany either.
Here's that base jumper, and look at that. There's that hip check, the real great extension. The hands stayed well away from the bars for the complete landing and into the landing a little bit. So I will give him the base jumper, absolutely, and it'll be a judging decision now, really. It's going to be a close call, I think, between at least 3 of the 5 riders so far. Libor keeping a close eye on this run. So Robbie Adelberg can't be disappointed with that run. He came out and did what he needed to do, absolutely. And now we have one final rider here in round 1, Matt Ribaud. And our info screen has just been updated. He's back up on board where he's supposed to be.
Now, so this is going to be a tough call for Matt Ribaud, because he does have the 540 flare knack in his bag, but he's also got a lot of massive backflip tricks in his repertoire as well. I wonder if he was the kind of guy that went and spoke with the judges earlier and asked, what are you going to score higher? Because the judges are very accessible to the riders here at X Fighters, and they want these guys to be asking them questions.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling that since we saw a couple big backflip trips, he may go for the 540 flare knack, but I guess in the next 60 seconds we're going to find out.
Well, that we will, as he gets going right away. Kiss of Death ruler. Beautiful, great extension on that one for Ribaud.
Over the 115, Ribaud is charging. This guy can really ride motocross as well, so you're going to see him really taking advantage of this course. Now he goes into the same transfer off the double backflip ramp that we saw Podmall do.
Yeah.
And trick for trick, I guess. You know, I don't know. I might give the edge to Podmall.
I think I'll give the edge to Podmall on that one, because the flatliner was just sexier, I think.
Yeah, but that was a nice whipped out double can.
So if he does do his flare, it'll be right here.
Yeah, and he's going to.
Looks like he's going to do it.
First flare of the night here.
Oh, and it's pretty.
Yeah, that was nice. Flare, no knack on that one. I think he was making sure that, hey, I stomped this one. And we're going to see him get this trick, and probably this is it. So what does he have?
Oh my goodness, taking it really old school. The candy bar no-hander, otherwise known as the pastrana.
Well, we call it the pastrana anyway, because we don't know what to call it. That's a page out of Javier Villegas' book. And is this one going to count here? Oh, this one counts. And
cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger to finish things off.
I think he might have one extra jump in this run, because he really raced the first 3-4 jumps.
I really feel that not only is it the tricks you pull and the extension and the variety, but it's also how many you get done, which is really down to how well you map your course, your line out during the pre-show. And this is going to be really tough, I think, between Adelberg and Ribaud for first and second.
And Podmall. Let's not forget Podmall is definitely in the mix there. I think this is going to be a 3-way battle, quite honestly. You know, David had a good run, but he was the first guy out. Rough position to start in, plus his hand, and he's just not really riding at 100%. And of course, you know, Remi was right there. I think probably, you know, Remi is maybe in the mix as well. So it's down to a judging decision at this point, and yeah, let's see.
Let's take a look at that 540 flat spin flare. And this trick is, actually, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we saw it for the first time ever.
Right here
back
in 2008.
here in maybe 2008.
Fredrik Johansson, the
Fredrik
Swede, was the
Johansson.
first guy to do it in competition in the history of the X-Fighters.
And then no one did it again in competition for
a long
4 or
time.
5 years.
The first time that we saw it back in competition was actually when Thomas Pagès brought it back. And I mean,
4 years later.
Yeah.
So that's amazing that Johansson was such an innovator back then. I know Pastrana had been trying them in his foam pit with little to no success.
Yeah, but that was near the end of Pastrana's careers and his knees.
Yeah, that was true.
But still, Fredrik Johansson was one of those innovative guys back in the day. So let's see. 5th place goes to David Rinaldo, 82.9. Remi Bizouard sitting in 4th with an 83.5. Libor Podmal. So here we go. It's a two-way race between Rob Adelberg and
This one's going to be
Matt
tough.
Rabeau.
This one's tough. But I feel like I know the answer.
Well, 84.3 goes to Rob
Matt
Adelberg.
Rabeau.
Matt Rabeau with an 85.5. Matt Rabeau will move on and will go up against Thomas Pagès in the quarterfinals. Very, very nice return to action this year for Matt Rabeau. It's been a long road to recovery for him, and it's really fantastic to see him back here. And if you talk to him, he's always smiling and happy to be able to do what he loves to do. But the other thing that he just loves to say to all of us is, yeah, man, I'm the oldest rider out there now. It's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy that Matt Rabeau was the young gun, and now he's the oldest guy out there. 2008 champion.
Yep.
He had a horrid crash in 2011 where he broke his femur, and he struggled for the last 2.5 years to even walk correctly, never mind be able to ride. He actually rode better than he could walk.
He rode better than he could walk, yeah.
Really good to see him back in form. And that's just, unfortunately, the glory is going to be very short-lived for him. Is now he's going to end up against Thomas Pagès.
That's a tough
quarterfinal.
Just speaking of those pairings in the quarterfinal, Higashino will go up against Torres, Melero against Sherwood, Clinton Moore against Josh Sheehan, and Matt Rabeau up against Thomas Pagès. So quarterfinal action coming up.
This place is getting revved up. They just saw some pretty amazing first round action, and look here, our TJ is getting everybody fired up. It's amazing actually the sound system in this old bull ring. It is going off. The crowd here, I mean, we say it all the time, there is no better place for freestyle motocross. The chainsaws are going off.
and they actually allowed the chainsaws back in this year.
Yeah, I
they
know.
were banned last year, and they've said, okay, we'll let you back in this year. I guess there was such an outcry by the local fans who absolutely adore the chainsaws. I mean,
how do you expect a person to watch freestyle motocross without a chainsaw in their hands, Troy?
I mean, what a question.
I mean, come on.
But it's true, you know, like there's strewn throughout the arena of like 25,000 people here are at least 2 or 3 chainsaws, and at any given time you can hear them going off. And then there's even a guy out there that's got a chainsaw attached to a handlebar with the normal motorcycle throttle on there, and he's doing freestyle tricks with the chainsaw here, and the audience just loves it.
Yeah, we got sucked into his show last year after the event. He had about 500 people around him as he was going off.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, it's always a spectacle here in Las Ventas, and the people love it, you know? Most of them come because they're fans of freestyle motocross. A good number of them come because they just, you know, they want to see what's going on here at their you know, traditional bull ring. And, you know, there's a few people out there that are new to the sport of freestyle motocross, and when they come to an event like this, they're absolutely won over. Madrid, Spain, and the Plaza de Toros de Las Ventas, where the atmosphere is incredible. This is your ticket to all the live action. When we enter the Plaza de Toros, there's no other event like it. So let's head on in and check it out. Follow me. Can you feel it? The goosebump effect is at full volume. The hair on my arms is standing on end, but that's why the Red Bull X Fighters have come back to this location for the last 13 years and why it's known as the traditional home of the X Fighters. Welcome, everyone. Troy Mannering at the helm, bringing you all the action live along with our sensationally hairy expert, Andy Bell.
Thanks, Troy. Like you said, we're returning to Madrid for the 13th time, and why not? The atmosphere here is the best in the world of FMX. The fans are absolutely out of their minds. The location is second to none, and then there are the riders. 12 of the best in the world, and we're looking at one there, Levi Sherwood.
The 2014 Tour has 5 stops on 4 continents, which got started in Mexico City, and then we moved on to the land of the rising sun in Osaka, Japan. Tonight will be a hard-fought battle for points here in Madrid, Spain, and then our tour moves to Germany's beautiful Olympia Park in Munich on the 19th of July, will close out our World Tour in Pretoria, South Africa on the 23rd of August and crown a World Tour champion.
And take a look. That's basically the view that Troy Mannering and I have from up here at the top of the bull ring, and it is absolutely stunning here. They do an amazing job with this event.
Full
this
house.
place is packed, 23,000 people, and they are all ready there's 2 Spanish riders in tonight. They bring the house down not only for their home country heroes, but for every single rider in every single jump. I don't know if anyone sits down the entire time. Here we get a little look at our judges. Red Bull X Fighters has the best judging system in the world. 5 different categories by 5 different judges. There you see energy, core, style, execution, and variety. And then we have a head judge, Jason Moriarty, and he is there to settle any differences with the judges and make sure everyone stays on track. They are all former professional riders themselves, so they know what they're doing. What will it take tonight here in Las Ventas? Levi Sherwood is looking for 3 in a row. He is looking better than he's looked in the last 2 years. Dany Torres, though, he's got the hometown advantage, and Tom Pagès, he is feeling good, and he's ready to take the lead. There are more ramps here tonight than we've ever seen in Las Ventas. 5 ramps and 2 quarter pipes for all the guys. And we also, if you take a win here, you're gonna join an elite group of riders. Or if you bring out a new trick like Frederick Johansson did here in 2008, you will never be forgotten.
Well, there we see a look down at the paddocks, and really, this is a history-making arena, as you noticed or told us, and we see Levi Sherwood. There's our current World Tour leader, 2 wins in a row, and like you mentioned, looking for that 3rd win, but that man's in his way at the moment. After the qualification round, he is just having a ball because his 2nd run in qualification was the run that got him top spot after the qualies, and of course, there's the man who built Las Ventas, Dany Torres.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Dany Torres has 2 wins here. Levi Sherwood has 2 wins here as well. No one has won 3 in a row since Matt Rabot in 2008. Levi, he is concentrating. He really wants to do this, and I have a feeling if anyone can do it, Levi can.
Levi can.
Levi Sherwood has been the untouchable superstar this season. Not only did he win in Mexico City and Osaka, but he dominated. He has an unprecedented 8 Red Bull X Fighters wins, which is the most in history. The question is, can Levi Sherwood be the guy to three-peat? Levi can't count anyone out as a challenger. I mean, there's 3 past champions riding this event. Matt Rabot being one of them, who is the 2008 champion and constantly impresses us with his improvement. And of course there's Dany Torres, who I always say is the guy that built this place. I mean, the fans come to see this guy. He's won in 2009, 2011, claims to have some new stuff, and I would never count him out here. And then there's the man under fire, Tom Pagès, who was last year's champion, but had lackluster 1st and 2nd stops. He has to win this event to keep that championship intact.
I think the 13th rider in this case would be the fans. We always say in ice hockey or in soccer, you know, in ice hockey it's the 6th man on the ice, or in football it's the 12th man because of the fans. And here it's really the fans that bring the atmosphere and make it such a great place for these riders to ride. And let's look at the bracket here. It's going to go head-to-head action now. Taka Higashino going up against Dany Torres in the 1st heat of the quarterfinals. And the way it works is the guy that wins that quarterfinal heat will move on to the semifinal. We'll show you our judging system, how it works, and it's going to be a helmet distribution process. That comes later on. Don't stress if you're not familiar with it, folks. We'll take you through it step by step as we get going with stop number 3 of the Red Bull X Fighters 2014 World Tour here in Madrid, Spain. 1st heat coming up between Taka Higashino from Japan and Dany Torres from Spain, the local boy.
Just take a look at this crowd. I've seen everyone from Buzz Lightyear out there to people dressed in bull costumes to revving chainsaws to 1,000 Toreros. There is everybody out there. They're dressed up. They're on the edge of their seats. They're coming here to watch what is the biggest freestyle motocross event in the world.
Yeah.
And these guys, Taka is coming out. It looks like he's gonna have to ride first here against Torres. And that is, even for a guy like Taka, this is a nasty matchup. We've seen this before in the finals, and now these guys are head-to-head in a quarterfinal. And obviously the night is not going to end well for one of them.
Yeah, and
but,
it's the thing.
But I don't want to see one of these guys. These guys are so good. These guys are both riders that have won. Dany Torres has won 7 of these things. I think Taka has won 1, but he's been up there, and he's a multi-time champion of so many different events. And he has one of the biggest bags of tricks out there.
Yeah, and now we go to this head-to-head battle system. 2 riders will come out, and they will each have a chance to go out on the course. I believe they get 75 seconds here in round number 1, and then it goes 90-90. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, the statistics give the advantage definitely to Torres in this case, but Taka Higashino, he's no slouch, absolutely not.
Hi, I'm Taka Higashino. I'm from Japan. Red Bull X Fighters Madrid. Yeah, I love it, this crowd. So I'm gonna do best.
What doesn't Taka love? He is like one happy dude. Yeah. He throws down. I mean, when you're out there in the middle of this ring, the love and just the cheers and chants. This crowd loves their chants. I don't even know what they're saying half the time, but they love to get out there. And you're going to see a little clock down in the right-hand corner there. That's 20 seconds for these guys to get ready. And Taka only needs 15 seconds. As he comes out big, massive kiss of death backflip. These guys are not hindered by the no backflip rule of round number 1.
No, you can throw everything you got in your bag of tricks
and you
here.
Better.
And you have to. In this case, he's definitely going to have to.
Oh, massive turn down for Taka. Really almost getting backwards to us up here in the booth.
Yeah.
And he comes around, hitting the super kicker, looking for use of course with a backflip Cordova.
And I love the way that he pushes that Cordova past its limit. You know, he really gets the extension. Oh, here comes that baby flip of his. You know, the guys build the ramps up here, and he says, like, I think I'll take a shovel out there and just dig a little quarter into the side there. And he made himself a small little jump ramp so he can do the baby flip. That's use of course points in a big way.
Well, it's use of course, and it's also variety because he's the only guy out there.
Oh!
Whoa, rock solid backflip. That trick is in the middle of a freestyle run. We say it all the time, but that trick won an X Games best trick not long ago, and now it's just one of many tricks that are part of a freestyle run.
Well, that's the progression that sport has taken in the last 5 years or so. Oh my goodness!
Speaking of progression,
the California roll by Taka. It's his own variation of the special flip. And Taka, I don't think is going to get this last jump. He was not in the tunnel by the time the alarm went. So, yeah, we've just confirmed by our producer the last one will not count, which is unfortunate for Taka.
That's too bad. He really needed that. You need every jump. When you're only getting 6 or 7 jumps in a run, you need every one of them counts for a big portion.
Especially if you're going up against Dany Torres.
Especially if you're going against Dany Torres.
Let's look at this run again here. Pick it apart for us, Andy.
All right, well, he starts off great. Really extended backflip, kiss of death. Really holding that, poking his body out, and here we go. There's that big old whip, really getting around like 120 degrees, just nice and smooth. And there, like you said, pushing the Cordova flip to its limit. And not only is that a super difficult trick, that is a super difficult trick off of the super kicker. So he gets difficulty and he gets use of course.
Yeah, and then of course there's the baby flip. I mean, you know, you look at that and you go, oh yeah, that's no problem. But let's not forget that these guys are using these bikes to do big, massive flips and trying to take a 100-kilo bike and do a little tiny flip off that tiny lip of dirt. That is impressive. And then of course,
at that, the California roll.
The California roll.
So that's like halfway between a body burial and a special flip. He stays attached to the bike the entire time, but I don't know. I'm not sure how he gets in that position. He broke that out in Osaka. Absolutely, he looks stoked. And Torres, who doesn't have a body burial / special flip like that, is really going to have his work cut out for him.
He's going to have his work cut out for him. But you know, the rumors have been going around for 3 years now that Torres has the Flair 540. If he's got it, he needs to bring it now. So Dany Torres will be our next rider coming out, and the audience is on his side 100%. Absolutely.
Dany Torres, Spain. Las Ventas is my house, and I would like to win in my house.
He called it out.
He called it out.
He called it out, and it's true.
He wants to win here, and you know, this is not only, you know, a competition is not only on the line for him, it's national pride. You know, he's in front of his countrymen, and they want him to win, and he wants to win. So here we go. Dany Torres with his first jump out of the box gets right. Oh, wow. Double grab backflip. Fantastic.
15-footer. That is an absolutely massive trick.
And that's the difference between Taka's rock-solid backflip. He did it off the shorter distance, so that is a big difference between these two guys for that particular style of trick.
Absolutely. Going back through for the Paris Hilton flip there. And he is on fire.
Yeah.
He knows how to ride these bull rings. He knows how to make it happen. If you watch, you really got to plot your course through these tunnels. They're so slippery back there.
Lazy boy flip.
Lazy flip to no-handed lander.
Yeah, fantastic.
But the tunnels are so slippery out there, Troy. We've seen many guys crash out there getting in a hurry. So you got to hurry, but you got to keep it on two wheels.
Executioner flip off the super kicker, and you can see our Energy Live judge there keeping a close eye on what's happening. And right now, Higashino's got the slight advantage for our Energy Live judge.
Oh, what's
and now,
this?
Surfer takeoff for Torres.
Into a kiss of death on
Nice.
the 75-footer as we're creeping up on that live energy judging. Remember, that's 1 out of 5 categories right there that we're going to know who wins by the time this clock hits 0. So this...
Well, it's coming up close by that Energy Live scoring here, and this last one will count because he made it into the tunnel before the horn sounded. And he comes out.
Oh, McMets to cliffhanger.
The McMets to the cliffhanger. Fantastic. What a finish by Torres. And we can see there, the Higashino's going to get the Energy Live judging, so we know where that first scoring helmet is going to go. So now it's just up to the judges to distribute the rest of those helmets and see who's going to win this head-to-head between two fantastic riders. And if you can listen, we'll shut up here, but listen to that audience in the background. Fantastic atmosphere here, you know, and I think they don't really care who wins. They came to see a show and a contest, and that's what these guys have just put on.
I don't know. Look at that extension. Double grab backflip. And he gets it half attack style.
Yeah.
I mean, that really wasn't just straight out. That was up halfway into a hard attack. The crowd loving it. I just can't believe that he didn't win the energy. For Dany Torres not to win energy in his home stadium.
That's a bit weird, huh?
That was definitely a little bit weird. But look at that extension. Perfectly flat. You want to see that helmet get back to the rear fender on a lazy flip and your arm straight out, and he was absolutely perfect.
There's that executioner flip. I really love this trick because if you break it down into the technical aspects, you're holding onto that bike while you're rotating with one hand. And if anything goes even a little bit sideways, you're in trouble as you reach back and try and twist to get that boot. I mean, it's just a really cool trick in my opinion. The only thing that would have made that trick just a step higher would if he had gone to a no-hander lander. But you know what? There's a lot going on in that double combo with that McMets to cliffhanger. I mean, you got to be really fast with those feet to get back under the bars.
Yeah, this one is going to be tough right here because both had really good runs, really solid execution, difficult variety. And I'm not even spoiling it for myself. I'm not going to look at our monitor. I don't want to spoil because this one's too close for me to call.
Yeah, okay, well, here we go. We already know that Taka Higashino's got the first score in the helmet, so now the energy goes to him. That's clear.
Well,
that's that from the live scoring.
That's just a bonus for him right there. Yeah. I can't believe he got that execution.
Dany Torres.
Yeah, Dany Torres. This one's a tight one. I am so happy I'm not a judge right now.
Style goes to Dany Torres.
Wow.
He only needs one more helmet. Variety, this one belongs to Taka Higashino. Ooh, this is a very close one. Use, of course. Taka might take this one because of the baby flip. Let's see. Use, of course, belongs to... Oh, my goodness, by a half point to Dany Torres.
Wow.
Wow,
that
fantastic.
That just saved a riot.
Yeah.
That just saved a riot for us. Because if Dany Torres was knocked out in the quarterfinal, this place would rush the judges. And we're hitting the way up top here, so they don't know
far
where
enough
we
away,
are.
so we don't have to worry about it. We can just lock the door and hope for the best.
That was close, especially with Taka getting that energy score.
Yeah, and I mean, it's only 1/2 point. Now, I mean, it was an 85.5 for Torres to an 85 for Higashino. So it was only a 1/2 point that really made the difference between that head-to-head heat for these guys. Amazing. All right, next rider coming up is going to be Maikel Melero. He showed us some stuff yesterday that just made us go, okay, wow, this kid has really come on fire in the last little while. He's got to be on fire, though, Andy, because he's going up against the current World Tour leader in Levi Sherwood, the man who has won the first 2 events of the season. Maikel Melero is in tough here. He's going to have to ride first against Levi Sherwood. And Levi, I'm not real sure what's going through Levi's head right now. Probably he's just thinking about his run. And I'll bet you dollars to donuts that he will not watch this run from Maikel Melero.
You know, he's got to be in his own little world right now. You see him, he's running through. Levi's one of those guys that really, really visualizes his run beforehand. So you'll see him closing his eyes, moving his head, moving his arms, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's thinking about his run before he does it.
Yeah, mentally visualizing in these sports, especially a sport that's as dangerous as this is a big deal.
Hola, Maikel Melero, Spain. FMX for me is my life, my work, and my big job.
Well, big
this
job.
is a big job right now.
Yeah, he's got a big job going up against Levi Sherwood.
Well, and not only is Levi the reigning or the current World Tour leader, he's a former champion.
Yeah.
And he is the leader of all wins over the last 14 years of this series with 8 of them.
Not 8 in a row,
wins.
but 8 wins in total. That's the most wins by any single rider on the Red Bull X Fighters.
And he's been on the tour a lot shorter than, say, Dany Torres, who has 7 wins.
Surfer takeoff for Maikel Melero up into a beautiful ruler. Great extension. I really like the way Melero has stepped up his game in the last little while, and here is what we were really having a good time watching, and he knack-knacked it. Melero threw out a knack-knack on the 540 flare. He's one of only a handful of guys that's actually pulled that trick out, and you know what? I think Melero's is very, very nice. A perfect execution.
Well, we were...
The double crab flip.
Yeah, wow. Wow, that Melero wants this right now.
He does. Cutting it short there. One-handed takeoff. Little sideshow.
Use, of course, hitting the super kicker over there. But Melero, let's go back to that flare. I mean, a knack-knack 540 flare. One of only 3 guys that are actually doing combos on the flare. And nice Cordova backflip. It's crazy how big this landing is, which has been a bit of a talking point for everyone right now because the landing is almost twice as big as we've ever seen it.
Well, last year we did a group picture on there, and we were winded by the time we got to the top. This last jump will count for Melero. Throws out a beautiful
side saddle takeoff into a flatliner.
I mean, that's a lot of stuff going on there, and you have to think about it. You know, when you're taking off side saddle, you don't have the same kind of control parameters, if I can be geek speak for a sec, as you do when you're taking off normal. So he's got to be able to control that bike with just a hip check to get it into that flatliner. So a really, really nice run for Maikel Melero, and now he's going to enjoy a little bit of this Las Ventas audience.
Melero's going to soak it all up as the crowd has erupted for him. Really, really solid run. Let's take a look at a bit of the slow-mo here. He gets up, Executioner.
Look at that. Wow, what a reach, and how long did he hold that?
Into a rock solid, which was just held like for an eternity over the 115 there.
Yeah.
He held that as long as you possibly could.
Maikel Melero rides a lot with Dany Torres, so you're going to see a lot of Torres' influences in Maikel Melero's style. And last year in the quarterfinals, or I believe he was in the quarterfinals, Melero actually beat Torres. So in that case, it was all right because it was a Spaniard beating a Spaniard, you know? So that's like the student becoming the master. But if you look at the tricks that Melero's doing here, the extensions are all very, very nice. Really creative use of the course here, and a lot of technicality in his run. So, you know, it might be a very tough job. It's definitely going to be a very tough job for Sherwood, who does not have a Flare 540, by the way.
Yeah, the only saving grace for Levi is going to be that Melero is really, really front tire high there, and that won't be a mark against him, but it might not be as big a mark up for him, and the crowd is really into it too, so Levi's going to have to come out and do what he does and ride the way that he's been riding, because Levi has just been riding with a confidence we haven't seen in 2 years. And he's just a happier dude around the pits. He's just
relaxed.
We didn't see him smile for the last year and a half on the tour. I'm not sure what was going on. He just wasn't riding like the Levi of old. And now he's just back to that. He's having fun. He's so comfortable. And I think we're going to see him having a great night tonight.
All right, next up, Levi Sherwood.
Hey, I'm Levi Sherwood from New Zealand. FMX to me it's my job. But then on the weekends, I still do it for fun. So it's what I've always done. It's kind of my life, and it's what I enjoy doing.
He coined himself a new trick. He's got basically a Rodova backflip in his quiver of tricks that I think he named the Flaming Mullet or the Burning Mullet. I'm not sure if it's flaming or burning.
The Flaming Mullet. And here we go. Upside down,
Big.
Kiss of death, 115-footer, just perfect execution. He holds it a long time. When we see that in slow motion, you'll see how far in front of his bike his body actually is.
The kid's an amazing rider. Oh, that topside knack is absolutely amazing.
Massive upside knack there. Love to see that on the huge whip. And really whips out the backflip off the super kicker, looking for those use of course points. Levi studies. He's a student of the game. He knows what he has to do in order to get the best score from these judges.
And you know he's been one of those guys down there talking to the judges. There it is. That is the Flaming Mullet, the Rodova backflip. The Rodova actually named for Jack Rowe, who came up with that one because he didn't like putting both hands and feet on the handlebars for the Cordova. Turntable.
Whipped out turntable.
Oh, did you see how much speed he took into that
Man,
tunnel?
he is hauling. He knows he's got to hustle. He could possibly get into another tunnel here. And there we go. Hard attack backflip.
Nice.
Little bit of a panic grab. You're not going to see him get another trick here. But
he's going to take the trick anyway, but I don't think that he's realized the horn has gone off. So this should not count because he was into the tunnel too late after.
Yeah, that one's for the fans. It's a big whipped out switchblade can poked up in the air. Levi, I don't have anything bad to say about that run. The only thing bad I could say about that run, which isn't bad, is he didn't have the 540 flare, which you have to compare apples to apples. I think he might have out-tricked Maikel a little bit, but how much weight are the judges going to put on to that 540 flare and using the quarter pipe?
Well, like you said, you know, he was very front wheel high on the landing on the 540 flare.
Watch his extension. He gets that body just perfectly stretched out. Just right back to the pegs. There's no question at all where that bike is. That is a man that is comfortable with his motorcycle. And that is just such a cool trick.
Yeah, it's amazing, that topside or upside knack. And here's that.
Whips out the whip flip, yeah. Kind of leans it over, a little bit of a butt whip, but we'll give it to him. I mean, it looks pretty good and stylish. And there we go, the Flaming Mullet, the call out to my and his hairdo. There we go, the whipped out turntable. That is a really, really difficult trick, and then to add in the whip on top of it. And
yeah, this is going to be a close call between the two, but look at that extension.
A look
wow.
back, hard attack, perfectly extended backflip over the big gap. And absolutely perfect landing. Both tires touching down at the same time, which is what these judges want to see. So this one's going to be really tough. I'm not sure which way it's going to go.
All right, well, variety goes right away to Maikel Melero.
Yeah, I see that.
Execution. That one belongs to Levi Sherwood, so we're even Steven so far. Style, Yeah, for sure that one's going to go to Levi with those extensions, the way he was rocking them. And then look at this. Use, of course, for sure, Maikel Melero because of that quarter pipe. Now it comes down to the energy. Who played this audience?
Oh, this one's tough. The Spaniard and
Look at that. Levi Sherwood takes it. So Levi Sherwood is moving on to the semifinals.
Oh, Melero does not look happy. I think Melero thought he might have it. It looks by the look on his face.
Yeah, I think so too. And quite honestly, I thought maybe Melero might get a few more points because of the use, of course. But let's not forget, folks, these guys that are doing the judging are keeping a real close eye on the smallest detail, and that means landing and where your tires are and how it comes together on the landing. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on there that these
There's
judges
a lot going on
have to keep an eye on.
Us armchair quarterbacks, if you will, and everybody at home, that you don't notice, that you don't even know the judges are looking for. They have to look for the takeoffs, the landing. I mean, it's almost to the point where, hey, were your toes pointed? I mean, not quite, but were your legs straight? Were they together, or were they all scattered all around?
All right, quarterfinal number 3, Clinton Moore and
Battle of
Josh Sheehan.
Australia.
A couple of Australian fellas coming out there.
This one is really going to be tough. Talking to Josh Sheehan earlier at the hotel, he's like, I don't want to have to do 3 double backflips tonight.
Yeah.
He's like, but I think I'm going to have to. Clinton is going to ride first, so he's going to know if he has to do it, but...
Yeah, but that thing is, Clinton also has a double backflip, but we haven't seen him do it since he crashed so horribly a few years ago. So, maybe he's got it back in the fold. I don't know, but it's going to be a real tough battle between these two guys because they're very evenly matched riders.
Hi, I'm Clinton Moore from Australia, mate. Handling my bike's a lot easier than handling the kids at home. They're just, they're a handful, stress. I'm just constantly running around after them.
I know how you feel. I know how you feel, buddy. But, hey, I got to ask him. I mean, it looks like he had his tips frosted there. Looking good, Clinton.
He's going for the Vanilla Ice look from the 90s.
Well, it's nice to have Clinton back. He was in Mexico City, crashed big in practice. He missed on a seat grab flip and took a header, knocked himself silly, wasn't able to compete. So it's great to have him back. And,
my goodness, what on earth happened there?
Well, what I didn't know is that he's actually calling that the Bundy, which in reference to his hometown of Bundaberg, but it's basically a little bit like Kyle Lowe's Electric Doom, but with his own style going on. So that, out of the gate, sets the bar pretty high.
Yeah, and Josh is looking real worried all of a sudden over there, waiting for his start. That was an amazing come out.
It was perfect.
I don't think anybody expected that because we watched, a lot of the training and the qualification.
Yeah,
we never saw any indication that he was going to come out with that.
I'm just lucky I ran into him in the hotel lobby and he could tell me that that's what he was doing, or else I would have had no clue as well. Basically putting both feet through the bars and doing a body varial over the bars.
Oh, and then the vault.
And then another body varial.
Yikes.
The vault.
Clinton Moore has just thrown his glove into the ring here in Madrid.
The vault a la Robbie Battison.
Yeah.
Right here, and then pokes out a massive kiss of death backflip. 3 seconds left.
Levi Podmal and David Rinaldo back in the pits, keeping an eye on that. And this one should count. He's in the tunnel when the horn goes, so this should be good.
What's he got last? Heel clicker, Superman flip. Wow.
Nice run.
Clinton just threw it down, and that Josh Sheehan is sitting there shaking his head like, I know what I'm going to have to do.
Yeah.
And so good to have Clinton back on tour. What a great guy.
He's a ton of energy, too. The guy's a ball of energy when he gets out there, and you can see now he's just out there having a good time with the audience, playing with them. He knows his run's over. All he has to do now is wait for Josh's line and to see what the judges say. And, he can't do anything about the judging decision at this point. He's just got to sit back and wait for it. And if he goes on, and then he can think about the next run. And if not, then,
Two different body varial types in one run. Let's check this out. Look at that. Bar hop through the bars, spins himself up around on the handlebars. How break this down? Let's see. Reaches over with his left hand, turns his grip, somehow gets back on, makes it look so easy. And then, just into 360 knack.
Yeah, okay.
And nice style there, too.
Yeah.
Really good. Gets that leg over. A lot of guys like to do the dog and the fire hydrant one.
Yeah, Clinton Moore, that was a very impressive run. And then look at this, the vault. I mean, you know, that's a pretty well-executed vault. He comes down a little front-end heavy, but I don't think they can really be too angry about that because this is a very difficult trick. You're leaving the bike and basically getting blind on it for a sec because you're rotating beside the bike. So that was a great run from Clinton Moore. All right, next up, Sheehan's got to bring it now. Josh Sheehan going to be riding up against a tough one against Clinton Moore. Two Australian guys are just fantastic riders.
Josh Sheehan, Australia. Leaving the ramp, it's like a second and a half of freedom. You're flying through the air, you're floating, there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, there's only a few things to worry about, like grabbing back onto your motorcycle, landing correctly, making it to the other side of the jump, and oh, hey, trying to beat a guy that just did 2 body varials in his run and a 360 knack-knack. So, yeah, not much to worry about, Josh Sheehan.
Yeah, everybody's got their own way to deal with the stress. Sheeny coming out right away, going for the holy grab.
Into one hand, almost executioner there, looking really good. And
we'll have to get a different angle to see if that actually did throw down into an executioner.
And we've been talking about it all weekend. Josh has been looking absolutely amazing. So smooth.
Oh, the 360 with throwing one hand off there real quick.
Big 360 one-hander there. And here comes Sheeny for the quarter. Nice pop on the 540 flat spin.
He's pumped by that one. You can see the fist bump.
That was really nice. He got great amplitude, really kind of popped into that. That's where the 450 bike really comes in handy. You can just grab a handful.
Plenty of power.
Yeah. Flatliner Indian Air there for Sheehan. And
watch out for it here, folks.
And he is lining up at the biggest, tallest ramp on the course. And 1, 2.
Oh, he did it! Double backflip! He threw it!
And absolutely
goodness.
Again.
Unbelievably, though, the Energy Live judging still has got Sheeny a little bit below Clinton Moore.
Wow.
And if he can get
one trick,
double grab flip, that's new for him as well. Wow. Will he get this last one? No, I don't think he's in the tunnel in time for this last jump. Probably will not count. But Sheeny, it looks like just by the hair of his chin, Sheeny got the energy helmet.
Wow.
And I'm going to just double check if this one's going to count or not.
No, that one didn't count. I heard the call. Yeah, I heard the call on that one. But Josh Sheehan, yesterday was the first time he's ever hit this double backflip ramp. And the first time he hits it, he pulls a double.
Yeah,
second time, pulls a double. He said he was surprised at how quickly he went around.
Well, I heard him talking about it. He says that, that first rotation was hauling, and he had to really, he had to basically put on the brakes to slow the rotation. Let's look at this run again here.
Beautiful holy grab. Floats all the way back there.
Executioner.
Straight into the executioner. Big combo out of Josh Sheehan to start things off. And
look at that fist pump on the 360. Wow.
Double fist pump 360. That's a confident man. Right into the nicely popped up, very well executed 540.
And then here's the double. 1 rotation, 2 rotations. Watch that front tire. He dug a divot if we looking down because he came right at us on the double backflip. And if we look down at that landing ramp, there is a mega divot in there now because of that back wheel on the acceleration.
Wow.
Clinton Moore, happy for him on that double backflip.
Yeah, we're all happy for him that he's okay. I mean, we've seen that trick go wrong in this stadium with Cam Sinclair, our good buddy, going down so hard in 2009, I think it was. And, it took him a long time to recover from that one. So, yeah.
Remi. That's right, Remi.
Like, oh, man. Hey, that's the way we all feel up here, Remi. And this is another totally terrible judging moment that these guys are going to have.
Yeah.
Who is going to win? Is it the guy with the 2 varials?
Well, we know that energy automatically went to Sheeny there. Execution, that one belongs to Sheehan as well.
We got a double backflip and a flare versus 2 body varials.
Clinton Moore, he's in the mix now. He's got course use. Sheehan's got 3 helmets, though.
Oh, Josh Sheehan pulls it off.
Course use, goes to Sheehan. Variety also goes to Sheehan. So Sheehan with 4 helmets to 1 against Clinton Moore. I'm not sure I agree with the distribution of helmets. I think Clinton Moore should have had 1 more for his variety.
He for sure probably should have had that. I mean, that is a difficult call. I mean, 2 great dudes riding at the top of their game right there. That could have easily been a final. Clinton did absolutely everything he could do, and so did Josh. There was nothing to pick apart about either of their runs.
Not really at all. I mean, that was tough. All right, quarterfinal number 4 coming up here. Matt Rabeau from Switzerland versus Thomas Pagès. I feel a little bit bad for Matt Rabeau. I mean, he is as skilled as they get, but Thomas Pagès has been so good lately, and you know, although he's had a tough start to the season and he didn't want to throw it down in Osaka, he went to the X Games and absolutely tore it up there, and he got back yesterday after the second qualification run. So now it's a question of whether or not Rabeau can keep his cool, put down a good run, and hope that Pagès, makes a small mistake.
Pagès is batting pretty much 0 for 2 right now.
Yeah,
and
on this season for X Fighters, that's for sure.
On the season, and we saw how confident he is now. He looked just so chill and relaxed all day around the pool, messing around. But what Matt Rabeau has to do right now is put down a perfect run. A Matt Rabeau perfect run right now today in Madrid versus Tom Pagès perfect run right here in Madrid. Tom's got it every time.
Yeah.
But Tom
Matt
can't lay down his perfect run every time because it is so next level that one small mistake is going to take his head out of the game.
Yeah, and if Matt Rabeau puts down that perfect run, then he might put the pressure on Tom. So let's see if Matt can do it.
Hey, what's up? I'm Matt Rabeau from Switzerland. The moment when you are in the air, you feel so good. Like, of course, if everything go right, but it's a very good moment. Everything is light but everything go fast. You have to be very concentrated because if you crash, you pay cash.
If you crash, you pay cash. All right, nice. Matt. We're gonna use that one up here. So, Matt's game plan: do everything perfectly, and just all he can do is hope for a mistake. It's just unfortunate because it's so great to have Matt back in winning form like he is. It's so great to have him back, one of the best guys on the circuit, but man, to be paired up against Tom right now is not where you want to be. As he starts off well, nice kiss of death.
Over that 115.
Over the big jump. Giving the judges and the crowd a little wave. Good transfer off of that double backflip.
Topside switchblade too for him.
Matt's
pretty good line here.
He's a wily veteran. This guy has probably had almost more starts than almost anybody.
Former World Tour champion as well.
2008 champion,
nice.
And really extends that no-handed backflip. And that's a very technical trick because you really have to hook your foot under the shifter so you don't fly off. And we see him pop around.
Well, one of the 3 guys we've seen do the Flare 540 tonight so far.
Now, we've seen him do the Flare knack-knack. He didn't pull that off right there.
Might be a tactical decision on his part.
Yeah, it could be. Cordova flip. And man, this landing is so big, it looks like these guys, from our vantage point, are only a few feet in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, they're way up there, but these landings are huge here. Knack-knack backflip off the super kicker to finish things off. And unfortunately for Matt, this one is not going to count. This is all for the fans.
Oh, wow.
Candy bar to no-footed can backflip, I'm pretty sure. And Matt, very, very solid run out of him.
If he could have gotten that last jump in on time, he might have had a few extra points because that was a really nice combo.
Great combo by Matt, and he threw it down. Tom has to perform. Tom's the kind of guy, though, even if Matt didn't hit one of his tricks, Tom would have come out to pull the run that Tom wants to pull, no matter what. Tom he's on his own plan out there, and his plan is to push. He's like the new school Travis Pastrana. He wants to push the innovation of this sport. Look at that extension. That was great.
Yeah, that last trick beforehand was the one-handed airplane with a switchblade thrown in for good measure. And then here's that 540 flare, like you mentioned. No knack-knack on this one, but, you know, good pop, got the rotation around there. So, yeah, good for him. Little bit of a heavy landing on the knuckle of the landing up there. That might cost him some points.
Well, Matt looks good. He looks happy. He's healthy. So good to see you back on a bike, buddy. It's been a long time coming to get back to this point. And Matt's one of those guys that could go home to Switzerland and learn a couple more of these new tricks. He's already got the flair in his bag. He's got the skills and the dedication to be able to pick up a couple of these new tricks that I feel if he learned maybe one or two of them, he would be back in winning form.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. And I mean, you know, even in the old man that he is or says he is, he's still a young guy, you know, in relation to us. And he's got the ability to do it, as we see Thomas's mom and dad there in the stands. And it's always the same with parents, eh? Especially his mom after all that's gone on.
From France. From France. Living in France is really good because we have the baguette and the butter. Baguette and butter.
Baguette and butter. Funny. I was just to finish my thought, his parents up there in the stands, and you know, of course, his mom, after all that the boys Pagès have been through, always kind of with blinders on up there, hand in front of the face as he gets ready for the run. And Tom starts off right away with his Flare 540 tsunami combo.
Wow. That just, I don't know how he's getting in that position. I mean, we've seen it a few times, but really just throwing that 360 out. Is he almost like, it's snowboarding, it'd be like boning it out.
Yeah.
He really just throws that back end out and almost hesitates in full 180 before he pulls that around.
There it is, the special flip, good to go. He'll be pumped after this, and out of the next tunnel, we should see the Volt. Let's see if he gives it a double fist pump on this one. If he does, you know he's in form.
There it is.
There's the fist pump.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Tom is on fire here in Madrid. Gets around. Still 25 seconds left on the clock.
He's got his big tricks all in there with tons of time left to go.
Big no-handed Superman, super technical trick that, remember, Jake Wyndham used to really make that look good, and then Mike Mason carried it on, and now Tom Pagès just carrying on the tradition. A really technical trick there.
This last one will count for him as well.
And then just really whipping out Cat-Knack, Indy, Flatliner.
I don't think there's any chance for Ribot here in this one after Thomas came out and did, you know, his 3 big banger tricks right off the bat, and he's still got some left in his tank for later on, assuming the judges agree with us here up in the commentator's booth, whether or not he moves on, but I kind of think he's going to go there.
Well, it's...
there's Mom, big smile on her face. She saw that her son just did a good run with confidence and landed everything. She knows he's on tonight.
That's an absolutely incredible freestyle motocross run. Starting it off, look at that. Flare, full tsunami. That was absolutely perfect style.
Yeah. Watch that angle right there. Wow, hey?
Look at that. 360, just really stylish. That's as stylish as a 360 as I've ever seen out of Tom.
It's like a 360 whip almost.
There you go, special flip. What is going on?
And look at the time that he took with this one. He really took his time with this Volt. You know, that was the slowest rotation and the latest entry into the Volt I've seen him do ever.
Well, there's no-handed Superman just holding that thing out over the 115.
And then the switchblade flatliner. I mean, you know, that's just a tweaky run. I liked it.
Yeah. Matt knows the writing's on the wall. I mean, it's tough, though, because with everything that Tom is bringing to the table, there's not a backflip in that run, and there is. Yeah. It's been the source of a lot of controversy
Thomas Pagès already in with 2 helmets here. Use, of course. That one belongs to Matt Rabeau. Hey! Matt Rabeau goes, hey, I got a helmet!
I got one, guys.
Well, Thomas gets the 3rd helmet. There it goes. And energy, entertainment, and
I think that's an obvious one right there.
That's an obvious one. Thomas Pagès gets that one. So Matt Rabeau, unfortunately for him, eliminated from competition. But you know what? It's really nice, like you say, to see him back out there. And you know, you're right. He could go home. He could learn some of these new tricks. That's the type of rider that he is. He's just got the ability to pick up the new tricks so quickly. But in this case, Thomas Pagès will be moving on to the semifinals. So semifinal matchups look like this. Sherwood is going to go up against Sheehan in the first heat. We've seen this battle happen in Australia a few years ago. And Torres will be going up against Pagès in the second heat in the semifinals. All right, and it sounds like we're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Ronnie Render, who is with Dany Torres. Let's see if they're down there right now. We can hear from Dany.
I'm down here with Dany Torres, who just got through the quarterfinals. What a battle in your house, man. That was a tough one.
Yeah, I'm really happy, you know, with my score. I'm in the semifinal right now, but I think it was really close, the score with Taka. He rode really, really well, and I'm really happy to be in the semifinal.
Now, what's your prediction going into the next round? You got anything new up your sleeve, or just execute?
Yeah, I think just execute, because I have a new trick just I did in a foam pit, but not many time in my home, you know, and I don't feel 100% comfortable to do here, and that's it. Now I want to have fun.
Now, I was pretty surprised myself there in that round. Taka got you on the energy. Is that something you need to remember to work on?
Yeah.
That's normally your thing, Dany.
Yeah, no, I think that I have to work hard, you know, if I want to beat the next one in the semifinal. I know that I will have too difficult, but I will try.
You're looking good, man.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Well, he knows that he's going to be up against Thomas Pagès here, and after watching what Thomas just did, I mean, it comes down to the odds. Can Thomas continue to do that run over and over again? Can he do it 2 more times tonight and take home the win, or is there going to be a small mental mistake, which, you know, obviously no one wants to see a crash, but a mental mistake in the eyes of Dany Torres, where, you know, that wouldn't be too bad, because Thomas won't throw it unless he knows it's right, and we've seen him hit the jump, be prepared to throw the volt, and then just pull out of it.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a battle of 2 different, I'm not going to say 2 different styles, but it really is 2 different styles. Dany Torres is a very solid rider. He's a very precise style of rider. And he's got some nice tricks. The double grab flip is there. He can use the quarter pipe for a transfer. You know, we're not really sure if he's going to bring it or if he's going to be, you know, firing on 2 cylinders only in this case.
Well, I think the difference, Troy, is that Tom is a guy that if he's worked on a trick a little bit and the crowd is pumped up,
he'll do it.
And he doesn't know if he's going to make it or not, he's going to do it because he wants to. Dany is more the wily veteran, the smart. I mean, I don't know if you want to say smart, but he is a guy that if he doesn't know he has it, he's not going to do it till he knows he has it.
Yeah.
And now, neither one is right. It's just different styles.
Yeah, it's just different styles, and that's something that we've been talking about a lot this season. Speaking of different styles, Levi Sherwood and Josh Sheehan, 2 guys who have colliding styles in this case. Sherwood, he's the guy that likes to have that perfect run lined up in his head, and as we saw earlier on, he does a lot of that mental preparation beforehand, going up against Josh Sheehan, who just tends to go for it sometimes.
This is going to be a really tough battle.
Yeah. Here we go. Sherwood out there, starts off.
Kiss to death backflip on the 115, same way he's been doing.
And let's not forget, the guys have a little bit more time now. They've got 90 seconds here, so it's extra 15 seconds with which to play on course.
Oh, there we go. There's a new trick for this run, the starfish backflip. Gets through and actually puts his butt right on the fender in bar hop position.
Yeah, that's why it's called the starfish, because he does butt check that front fender. Otherwise, it would be known as Shaolin backflip.
Yep. Very good call, Troy. You're becoming an expert at the sport.
Ooh, thank you.
Pretty soon you're going to take my job.
Oh.
does he get so backwards on that upside knack-knack whip. He really is almost 180 on that.
Yeah, it's insane. It
One of my
looks so
favorite
cool,
tricks
yeah.
that he does, absolutely. Nice job, Levi. And then the whipped out turntable.
You know what I kind of like about that is he goes topside with the turntable as well, and then gets on the gas
And
to
then
go in
gets
that other
right
tunnel.
on the, I mean, he goes in that tunnel faster than anybody else does.
Double grab flip.
It looked like he kind of actually extended out a one-hander into the double grab. It was a little bit different than even laddering back where you just do one hand into the other. He extended fully and then grabbed on double. Big combo for Levi.
I'd be curious to know if he took it to the executioner flip and then into the double grab.
Yeah,
We'll have to look at that in slow-mo.
Flaming mullet, as he's calling that trick there.
We won't get any points for this one. It should not count because he was not in the tunnel before the alarm sounded, but throws out a holy grab for us. Wow, Levi's celebrating a little bit.
Well, I don't think he could have done any better than he did right there. Everything was extended to the max. Everything was either comboed out with massive new combos, new tricks. He's only missing that quarter pipe or a body varial, which he doesn't seem too intent to do.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that too. You know, like, I mean, a guy like Levi Sherwood needs time to train and get all his tricks really lined up and perfect. And so I have to ask myself in the off season here, if he does actually have an off season, if he's not doing shows or other contests somewhere, you know, if he's going to take the time and really put the effort in to try and get some of these, we'll call them new school tricks that Thomas Pagès has made so prevalent in the new era.
Oh, I didn't even see that. He did a little styly one-handed grab.
The stale fish.
And then here is that upside knack. Just look at that. Just, there's not one thing you could change about that trick to make it cooler.
And the fact that he just has a look back at our location here while he does that, I mean, that's just amazing.
There we go. No, so it didn't get the executioner,
No, you're right.
but still goes back super styly one-hander into a double grab heart attack backflip. Yeah, that's a new combo for him for sure.
That was a good run. Now Josh Sheehan needs to come out and he needs to do the run that he did before and add a couple of notches to it.
Man, what I don't know what he has to add. I know he's got the baby flip in his repertoire, which we haven't seen him do this weekend. He's got an extra 15 seconds on the clock over round number 1. So
and he doesn't need to rush either. He can take his time with this, you know?
He doesn't need to rush, but he's got to dial everything in and have absolutely perfect execution. Because remember, you need to win 3 of 5 categories here.
Nice. There's the holy grab, rock solid executioner combo.
And that's a good line there. He gets right back in it really quickly.
And he's shortcutting these tunnels as well. He's not going all the way to the end of the bell.
He's on that big 450, so he's able to do that 360 heel clicker. Kind of horseshoes with the feet, but
yeah, the judges are going to dock him, but you know what?
He is doing a 360. It's not like he's doing just a regular backflip, so you can't be too hard on him. And really lays out that flatline Indian air. Great execution.
Great view from our cable cam as well. And here we go. This is the ramp that he
Here we
used
go.
for the double.
I got my fingers crossed and my palms are sweaty. Looks good, looks good.
It's good, it's perfect.
Yes.
Sheeny gets the double.
And just perfect. He rotated a little faster than that first one we saw in the quarterfinals.
And the French commentators next to us are jumping up and down in their box. You can hear him banging on the walls. And now Sheeny goes up for the double grab flip. And we can see the Energy Live judging.
Oh, wow.
That one belongs right now to Sheeny with 20 seconds left in his run. Oh, goodness gracious.
And we may see Levi not at the top of the box for the first time.
Yeah, it'll be a tough one. It'll be a tough one.
10 seconds left here,
we
Josh.
go.
Quarter pipe, flare, looks good.
And the landing is there. Can he get into the tunnel? He's going to get one more jump. He's got an extra jump in this run.
On to the 115. He's got to finish big here and really seal the fate of Levi Sherwood if he can pull this off.
The lazy boy flip. Oh, yeah. That was a good run from Josh Sheehan.
Wow.
And we know from the live energy judging that we just saw right there, Sheeny's got one helmet without fail. So now it's going to be down to our use of course, our variety,
You know
our
what?
execution.
I just have to go through it in my head. Use, of course, he's got over
He's
Levi.
got it, yeah.
Because he hit the quarter pipe and
Variety.
the double backflip jump.
Yeah.
The variety, I mean...
Again, back to the double backflip
I
jump
think
plus the...
he did everything Levi did. Maybe Levi will get him on execution. It's possible because Levi has the best execution there is.
Yeah,
but,
there's no doubt about that.
But I think, you know, not that Levi didn't have an absolutely perfect run, but that double backflip and the flare are really going to be hard to combat here.
Yeah, and you
And he
know,
had a
the 360
360
heel clicker, or as you so aptly named it, the 360 horseshoe.
I think that's a Cameron Steele reference there. I just stole it from him because he used to make fun of me for doing horseshoes.
And this time we see that, you know, he definitely had the rotations a little bit faster this time. He came down back wheel heavier.
You knew he was going to make that adjust. The first two he did were like front wheel heavy. And you know what I've really been loving this year is the camaraderie of everyone has really just taken another notch. Everyone was at the pool today messing around, having contests who could swim under the water the furthest. You know, Tom was taking pictures of Danny's sweet mustache.
So there we go. Josh Sheeny gets the energy. Execution, that one belongs to Sheeny as well.
No way.
Levi Sherwood.
It's not going to happen for Levi tonight.
No, it's not. But, well, maybe. Sherwood gets one helmet. Course use belongs
Josh
to
has
Sherwood.
to get course. He's got it.
Oh, but there you go. Josh Sheeny.
Josh Sheehan.
Course belongs to Josh Sheehan. Variety goes to Josh Sheehan. So like you called it, execution belonged to Levi Sherwood, but Josh Sheehan goes on to the final. So this is the first time this season that we will not see Levi Sherwood in the final. And that just makes this season so much more interesting because it's either going to be Sherwood and Torres in the final or Sherwood and Pagès in the final.
Well, we haven't seen Josh win since Sydney in 2011, but he did get second at the first stop here this year in Mexico City. So and then he missed the second round in Osaka because he was on the Nitro Circus tour over in Australia. So he is no stranger to finals.
Well, he knows what it takes. And
and he's got what it takes that we just saw. I mean, Levi has been the class of the field in the first two events. So for him to take him down in pretty easy fashion, 4-1, that speaks a lot.
And we just answered our what will it take to three-peat here? Well, it's going to take beating Sheehan in this case, and it didn't happen. And now we move on to Dany Torres, who's going to be riding up against Thomas Pagès.
Well, if there's any saving grace for Matt Rabot is his record still stands after tonight. He may not have made it past the quarterfinals, but he is still the only man to win 3 in a row at Red Bull X Fighters. Talk about domination to be able to win 3 in a row.
All right, Dany Torres, this is your house. Make it happen for us, brother. Double grab flip right over the, over the 115, the double grab flip. That was monumental.
And he really got amazing extension on that. Really up in almost heart attack style. Perfectly executed. Danny's here. He's going to put it down. And really stretches out that Paris Hilton flip a little bit.
Still need to find out why he's calling that the Paris Hilton flip. Every time we ask him, he sort of dodges the subject. And I wonder why.
Well, it's coming back to Garrett Elf doing it right side up from what I understand. And, you know, he's doing it upside down now and really stretching it out. And, well,
Dany riding well here with that lazy boy flip. And now he's on to the super kicker. And he goes for, a bit of a dirty executioner flip there.
That was a tough angle for us to kind of see exactly how stretched out that was as he hustles back into the tunnel.
Up into the surfer. There's that kiss of death ruler off of the surfer. Hey, Freckles.
Side saddle takeoff, gonna go into the 9 o'clock knack. Flatliner there. And Dany, he is gonna get this one. Yeah, that's some good bike handling skills on that slippery
time to spare.
pavement right there. Yeah, none too early. He can take a breath here. This is gonna be it. You see him blink his eyes. 1:15, one more time. Big Mets into cliffhanger.
Perfect.
And you know what? That's a really, really big combo there.
Yeah, and that was a solid run from Dany.
90 seconds, really put to use. Any other year, that would probably win this contest.
Yeah.
But we're in 2014, and this sport is has progressed more this year than I think it ever has, which is crazy.
And we can blame that on Thomas Pagès, actually, because he's just said to everybody, look, you know what? I'm going to do it my way, and his way has been absolutely progressive. Yeah, he tapped that one real quick. You know, he didn't have the airtime he needed to get
Yeah,
it.
I didn't have the extension, but it was off the super kicker, so we'll give him that. He still got the full trick.
Love the headlock on that one.
Yeah, the look back, that just adds one more little piece for the judges to just give that little bit of an extra tick of a score on. And look at that, McMats. Really, it's an old school trick, but still one that a lot of guys can't do.
But then you're comboing it up with this right here, the cliffhanger. And look at the extension. I mean, he gets perfect body extension.
Oh, and the crowd out there. We can't hear it with the music in the background, but the crowd is going off, saluting their hero.
Yeah. And you know what's also nice? Dany Torres is healthy this year. He doesn't seem to be complaining about any of the pain in his feet that he absolutely destroyed a couple of years ago. You know, he seems to be in good spirits, in good health. He's riding 2 tours, keeping up on top of his bike and on top of his training. So Dany Torres is definitely on it.
Dany has 38 starts in Red Bull X Fighters.
That's
38.
incredible. That's absolutely incredible. That might even be the most starts
I think
any
it
rider.
is. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. This guy is a veteran as far as veterans come. And you know, he's been riding here since 2004. 2004.
And the event's been here since 2002, so like he is the master of this event, really.
Well, he probably was in the stands in 2002,
Yeah.
I guarantee you. We should ask him that.
All right, so Thomas is starting from right underneath our position here, which means that we're probably going to see his bike flip. This is going to be the telltale sign for this run. There it is. Does he get it? He wobbles it just a little bit. He just wobbles it a little bit. Will that be the mess in his head, or will it be all right for him? Let's find out here.
It'll tell right now on the flare tsunami.
A little bit short on the tsunami part of it. Dany Torres keeping a real close eye on this here.
Oh, wow.
Yikes. Here comes the 3.
We're going to have to get back and talk about that bike flip in a minute when he's done here, but Tom just threw down. I mean, talk about progression.
Yeah, one
taking
of
the bike flip and bringing it to freestyle motocross. Like a few guys have tried, no one's even come close.
There it is.
Special flip.
The special flip, it's good. We saw this. We saw a similar action in the second round, or the second run of the qualification. He got a little bit sketchy, a little bit scary, but he brought it back together. The volt is there with the fist pump. He's feeling good by the latter part of this run with 23 seconds still to go.
I mean, Tom just always looks like he's on the ragged edge, but that's the way he rides because he throws everything.
Yeah, that's just his
with
riding
every
style.
ounce of energy that he has into every single trick. He floats out. It comes up actually a couple feet short on this massive landing, which has been a point of contention a little bit, that maybe this landing was built up a little bit for Tom, because he complained about the last landing in Osaka, and he throws down a big old school moto whip. But regardless,
and the fans in the audience are just going, hey,
we just saw five, count them, unbelievable tricks there by Tom.
And what you just saw was a run with no flips involved.
No flips.
And that's been his signature for the last few years. And you know, he's made it work for him. Here we go. Let's review this a little bit. What's happening here? Watch this, bike flip. Try doing this on a BMX, it's hard. Try doing it with a 100-kilo motorcycle, it's near impossible. Thomas Pagès makes it work.
Hey, check this out. He goes off, throws it down, uses that left hand to actually bring it around. He's flipping the motorcycle completely upside down and around, and then at the last second, he does a 180 with his body and gets back on. Has to grab it with his heels there. Unbelievable.
He's got a special lever, by the way, that he flips out of the way so he can hold on to the bars and let the bike rotate around on that one hand. And then we see the Flare 540, a little chunky, you know, not what he would have liked to have had, but I tell you what, the rest of the run centered and settled down for him.
Yeah, looking good. There's that bolt. Perfect body varial. He's really got these things dialed. A little front end high there, but he doesn't even care. Fist pump.
But he
brings it back
to get
around.
That landing really well,
yeah,
actually.
gets it right back around. Surprised he got that back down. And then there's that no-handed Superman. And he knew he was coming a little short. And unfortunately for Dany Torres, just like it was unfortunate for Levi Sherwood, but
variety goes to Thomas Pagès.
Progression is the name of the game right now.
Only 1 point difference on execution, now style. That one belongs to Dany Torres. There's still hope for Mr. Torres. Use, of course, I think this one's definitely going to go to Thomas. Yeah, it does. 94.5 points there for Thomas. He gets 3. And now the 4th helmet goes to Thomas for energy.
Wow.
No doubt about it. Thomas Pagès moves to a final against Josh Sheehan.
Thomas's proud parents just standing down there. And he's got his mom, his dad, his brother. They're all here cheering him on.
It's a huge group from the Pagès camp that are here. So a lot of support for Thomas this weekend. What a fantastic run for Thomas to come back. I mean, let's face it, that wasn't the best bike flip we've seen. There was a lot of hype going into the previous event about the bike flip, and, you know, he just wasn't feeling it there. And he did a good one yesterday in the second round, or the second run of the qualification, and that made all the difference for him. He completed the bike flip and then went on to attack the rest of his run. So a very good job by Thomas Pagès. And we're going to go down to Ronnie Renner again, who is with Levi Sherwood. We're going to hear from the current tour leader about his thoughts on being eliminated in the semifinal. Ronnie?
I'm here with Levi Sherwood. Just got knocked out of the quarterfinals. Had a good season so far. How bummed are you right now?
I guess I'm bummed for getting beat, but I gave everything I had. I feel like that run for me was one of the better runs I've done this season. So Josh killed it, man. He went out there and done a double flip and absolutely done everything so clean. So at least I got beat by someone like Josh, you know.
So you gave it your all. You know, these guys are coming up hard on you. Going into Munich, you gonna hit the books?
I don't know about the books. I just keep riding and see what I come up with. Just gonna come with the same attitude as always and keep it fun.
I mean, what's your opinion with freestyle scene right now? I mean, Red Bull X Fighters is blowing up. This is probably the gnarliest contest I've ever seen. I think you've probably ever been a part of. These guys are coming at you hard.
Definitely. Like I said, I rode the best I could and I just got beat. It's qualifying yesterday was insane. So freestyle is really lifting its level, but I'm looking forward to Germany. It's going to be a bit more space, a bit more free. So hopefully I can do better there.
Good luck. Thanks a lot, Levi.
Thank you.
It's interesting to note that, you know, hit the books was a question by Ronnie, and I think what he meant there is, are you going to maybe study some of the styles that these other guys are throwing out there and try and adapt and bring in some new tricks? And, you know,
I feel like Levi might have been a little evasive there about, like, I'll see what I can come up with. And Levi's another guy very much like Tom in a different way. He's out to do what he thinks is right, and he's not going to let what Tom's doing lead the way he rides, which is cool.
Yeah,
Tom isn't letting anyone else lead the way he rides. He's just like, hey, I want to do this. If the judges like it, cool. If they don't, cool. This is what I think. And we saw with Levi a couple years ago where he did an entire run in the semifinals with no flips because He didn't feel like flipping.
Yeah, he took the
didn't feel
flip
good.
levers off his bike. That was in, I believe it was in Brasilia.
Brasilia, yeah.
He
And
took the flip levers off his bike and said, guys,
He
I'm
didn't
just
feel
going
it
to come
today.
out and do my thing. You
I'm
know?
jet lagged. I'm tired. I feel like crap, and this is what I'm going to do.
And
so,
if I remember correctly, I think he beat Aigo Sato in that one to move on to the next round.
yeah,
where he was
no,
eventually eliminated.
Yeah, he was eventually eliminated. But you know what? It's cool to see freestyle as an expression still. And you know, a lot of these guys, as with all the years of freestyle, are ex-racers that just, you know, either didn't make it or didn't want to conform to just the 8 hours a day of training and riding laps and riding motos, and they came to freestyle as a way to express themselves on their bike and being able to ride. And you know, I think both Levi and Tom are carrying that on in their own way.
Yeah, but let's be quite honest. Levi's got to add in a couple of new tricks, whether it be a flip trick or some other kind of combo trick. It doesn't necessarily have to
I just
be
don't think
a
another
body varial or something like
Levi's
that.
got all the flip tricks. There's nothing else he can throw that's a flip trick. I don't feel that's gonna. He has to do a body varial, or he has to do a special flip, or he has to do a 540, or he has to do a double backflip to compete when everybody else does that level of tricks, which they're catching up to Levi on the normal tricks. And I say normal as in, you know, the backflip kiss of death or backflip double grabs or all
Which
these
was
other
absolutely
tricks.
unheard of 5-6 years ago.
Exactly, but they're doing those on the same level or close as Levi, and then they're bringing these new tricks. So I'm not sure if Levi's going to want to do that or not. And if he doesn't, I don't blame him. He can just join us up here in the booth in a couple of years and let the kids do what they're doing.
You know, and I suppose we could debate this till the cows come home, quite frankly. But, you know, Levi, for me, is a competitor. He's a guy that likes to go out there, compete every night, and do what he needs to do in order to get the top of the podium. And so he's probably looking at this situation going, okay, I just got beat by Josh Sheehan, who's got a double backflip. Do I want a double backflip? Maybe, maybe not. So how do I compete against a double backflip? You know, maybe I need to add in a few more tricks into my repertoire. You know,
and a 360 and a flare.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, those are just, I mean, variety, and you don't have to just have the big tricks. You have the execution, which Levi is the king of. But if you want use, of course, you're going to lose every single time if you leave the quarter pipe untouched.
That's right.
You're going to lose every time. So you're already 1/5 down just when you start because you're not touching that. I mean, it's just mathematics.
And the X-Fighters organizational committee and Tessul and the guys who are building the courses are saying to the riders, look, tell us what you want. Tell us what you want, and we will try and accommodate you so that we can progress this sport, which, you know, is a great thing that the X-Fighters are doing. They're really taking the level of this sport and bringing it up. Now we're coming into the final here with Thomas Pagès going up against Josh Sheehan. And this is where we're going to see these two styles of big tricks really come into play. Will it be Josh Sheehan's night because of that double backflip, because he does use the quarter pipe and has the flare 540, or will it be Thomas's night because of the sheer fantasy that he has brought to the sport of freestyle motocross?
Well, of anybody here tonight, Josh Sheehan has the best chance of taking Thomas down because he's got the variety of new school tricks with the double back, with the 360, with the flare.
The double grab backflip as well.
The double grab flip. He's got them in his bag of tricks.
Yeah, and he'll be first to ride here tonight. So the final coming up.
I'm ready for action.
Well, he's ready for action, he says. Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, buddy. We're good to go.
Thanks for letting us know. And hey, we are not messing around. We are in the finals.
Yeah, and that, tell me that didn't sneak up on you. That came fast. I was having so much fun watching this, the action here, and Sheehan gets going right away.
And same trick as before. The pulley grab to one-handed seat grab executioner, and he is on fire. I mean,
mega combo.
Yeah, he slides in, cuts the corner short, 360, heel clicker. So far, same run for Josh, and you know what that means. We're going to be seeing a double backflip here right away.
Well, he's made a small change in his run here, actually. He usually went to the flare 540 on that one, I believe. I could be wrong here. I think now you're going to see that double backflip like you predicted.
Here we go. What a short run up for this trick.
Oh, yeah, that was the best one of the night. Best one of the weekend. 2 wheels down, solid.
Wow.
Fantastic from Sheehan. Double grab
Stretches
flip.
out the double grab flip. Wow, it looks like he's barely off the ground on that thing from up here in the sky. Yeah, even Thomas is like, whoa, that was close. 20 seconds left on the clock, so 2 more jumps. Really stretching out. I love the way Josh muscles that trick out.
Here we go with the Flair 540 with time left. Uh-oh. Little nose heavy on that one. 2 feet dab, and he's going to have time. Will he get this one? He should get this one. This should count.
This will count. All right. Nice timing, Josh.
He's going to need it after a almost crash on the Flair. And he goes for the lazy boy flip. That was a bit anemic. That was a bit short on the stretch, but you know what? All in all, you can't complain about that run from Sheehan.
Yeah. Do you think these fans love freestyle motocross here?
Nah, they hate
in Madrid?
it. They hate it. They're here for the
terrible.
atmosphere and the cool drinks on the sidelines.
Wow, Josh is pumped. I mean, that's like Levi said about his run. I think that's as good. Oh yeah, he gets a full executioner back into a rock solid.
Yeah. So he actually triples up on that combo trick, and then here's the 360 heel clicker. Let's check those heels this time. A little bit closer together.
Yeah, not bad.
A little bit closer together.
And Josh paying some tribute to the Toreros with the little, you guys can't see it right now, but he's up there showing off to the crowd.
This is, you know what I loved about this run though, more than anything was this part right here. The double backflip, and watch the landing. Bingo, 2 wheels down. That was about as good as it gets on a double backflip. And folks, this is a competition run. Normally, a double backflip is a show trick. You get lined up, you get a run in, a run out, a run in, a run out to check it. This is a competition run, and Sheehan has just done probably the best double backflip that we have seen in competition ever. And then the double grab flip. You know,
great
1,
extension.
2 very minor mistakes. That was a fantastic run.
Or that left hand. I mean,
he's still searching for the bars.
Yeah, he grabbed on the very, very tip. I mean, absolutely, he rode his heart out there.
Yeah, it was a fantastic run.
That will score as high as a run can absolutely score. So good. So great to see Josh back. He's already got a 2nd place this season. We've been saying it all weekend. Josh looks good.
Yeah, worst case scenario for Josh tonight is going to be 2nd place. It comes down to this run right now from Thomas Pagès.
Go big or go home.
I have a feeling.
Big or go home.
I have a feeling Thomas isn't going to go home without going big. Going big is what he does.
Well, if he follows routine, he'll set up right underneath us and get ready for that bike flip. And really, this run depends a lot on this first trick, that bike flip, as he sets up down below us. And everybody is on their feet here. The other commentary crew are on their feet. We're keeping an eye on this. Here comes a bike flip from Pagès. Watch it. It's perfect. Oh, he dabs a little bit, but he's got it. And Sheehan's watching. He's like, yeah, that was good. And here we go. The 540 Flair. Will he stretch this one out? Yes.
The tsunamis that thing right out. Absolutely. Could not stretch that any further.
Here we go with the 360 now. 360 whips it out. I mean, I like that. I like that variation a lot.
I love watching him do that 360.
Well, Thomas right now is filling the predictions that we've been talking about for 2 events so far.
Special flip out of Tom. He is bringing his A game. He is nailing every single one of these best tricks back to back to back to back to back. And here we go, the vault. And he lands even a no-footer.
Not a heel clicker. I think he wanted to go heel clicker on that vault. I'm not sure. We're going to have to take a look at the slow-mo there, but that was insane. And this is what we're talking about. Thomas is not afraid to experiment in the middle of a situation and just see if he can't throw something out there. And again, it's that creativity that goes, holy man, for that big floaty Superman. Wow, what a run from Pagès.
And he's going to get this one,
he's
too.
He's got time.
Yeah, this one will count. Last trick of the night for Thomas Pagès to really just put an exclamation mark on what has to be the gnarliest final we've ever seen here at Red Bull X Fighters or anywhere in any competition ever.
No doubt about it. I mean, there's no doubt that this weekend is the best riding that we have ever seen on Red Bull X Fighters or perhaps any competition anywhere.
Any competition ever. I'm saying
there's
it right now.
There's no doubt about it. This is
the
best quality riding that we've ever seen. The qualification round could have been a final. It could have been a final. And here we are looking at Josh Sheehan with a double backflip, the double grab flip, the Flare 540. Pagès comes with the bike flip, the Flare 540 Tsunami. And then the rest of the tricks, he even tries the heel clicker on the vault. And I'm going to look back here at the replay. An amazing
check the bike
run.
flip here. Guys struggle. Only a couple guys I've ever seen, like Morgan Wade, can do this on a BMX bike.
On a BMX bike.
And here's something that's 220 pounds. And look at that. Just flips it around, reaches that left hand out for the seat, grabs it, spins his body 180, grabs it with his heels, and perfect. Like, that is just wrong how right that was. And look at this extension.
Really gets that Tsunami popped out there. The landing was good. What I really want to see, though, is when he comes back in later on. There's that special flip. No struggling at all. I remember the first time he did that special flip, he was looking for those handlebars for a couple of seconds up there, it felt like. Watch this, though. There's the vault. Keep an eye on what he does with his legs here. Almost looks like he wanted to go heel clicker.
He did. He was thinking about it.
He was thinking about it, and he got them there.
Wow.
You know where his headspace is now. Progression, progression, progression. That is what Thomas is all about these days.
You know what I love watching is how quickly he goes for his flip levers as he's landing, in between jumps, everything else. He's so confident that he's barely on the ground. Ooh, that was a nasty little short there on the 115.
That was a little bit short there. What's going on here? Is he getting rid of some shoes or something?
Yeah, I think he's giving away his boots. Does anyone want some free Alpine stars?
He's going to be naked before he gets back to the paddocks later on. You know what? I don't think he cares. He's just had himself a fantastic run. That's mine, he says. Yeah, good job. Congratulations on getting that stinky boot.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know if I want that after 3 big runs of freestyle motocross.
What a fantastic final here at the Plaza de Toros de las Ventas in Madrid, Spain. Stop number 3 on the Red Bull X Fighters World Tour. 2 more stops to go, and we have just had a major reinvention and reassociation here in the points. Thomas Pagès gets variety, execution. That one belongs to Thomas as well. Is Sheeny going to get any helmets here is the question. Style, Thomas. I don't think Thomas can believe it, so Thomas wins. He's got it. He's finally got himself a win this season.
Yeah.
And
it took way longer than any one of us thought it was going to take.
No doubt. Course use and energy. 5 helmets in a row.
He did it in style.
That is a decisive win for Thomas Pagès, who is back in the mix, having not done well in Mexico, having opted out in Osaka. He came back strong, and he showed that he can do it, that he's got the headspace to do it.
He's got the headspace. He's got the bag of tricks. He's got the brass balls.
If we can say that.
Hey, if we can say that, I'm going to say it. I just did. absolutely, what he just threw down is probably the best run ever in freestyle motocross.
Yeah, I
Nothing
mean,
like that has ever happened.
No, you know, and that's history in the making, and it's exactly what we talked
Thomas
about. We're going down to
Pagès,
Ronnie Renner right now, who's with Tom.
You just won the gnarliest freestyle motocross contest I have ever seen in my life. How does it feel to be back on top here in Madrid?
That's sick. Like, I've been practicing so much effort. It was so hard, and to be able to learn these tricks is, I don't know, it's like a dream. I'm so happy. I've been riding for you guys, the public, for the guys who can't ride anymore, and just have fun. This life is freestyle. Thank you.
Now, Thomas, I've seen a lot of contests in my day. This is the most amazing crowd in the world. Can you agree? And what about the competition tonight?
It's a crazy competition. We've seen like already a final, like Dany against Taka Higashino. It was crazy. Then Josh and I don't know, Levi did so good. Everyone, it was like a best trick competition. Thank you, Madrid. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
I think that's probably the best way to describe the contest that we have just witnessed here. It was like a best trick contest, but in long format. I mean, absolutely amazing. Thomas Pagès, top of the board here, winning at the X Fighters here in Madrid.
Well,
amazing.
And he needed that.
He needed
it.
It was
seventh place. I mean,
it was a desperation win.
Tom needed that, and he needed Levi to get knocked out and to be in third. I mean, Levi, his interview was exactly right. He rode the best that he could, and he had an amazing run. It's just no one could do what Tom did tonight.
Yeah. So Levi Sherwood from New Zealand taking third place here. He's still in the mix for a World Tour Championship title, so don't count him out. You can never count him out. Josh Sheehan, second in Mexico, and second here in Madrid. So, you know, he's definitely keeping his hopes alive, but the man that we are going to be talking about leading up to Munich is Thomas Pagès. And you know what they say, no publicity is bad publicity, and all the stuff that's happened leading up to this point here in Madrid, the first event in Mexico was rough for Thomas, and then of course in Osaka where he didn't ride, and now coming to Madrid, that is a mega amount of relief you're seeing on the face of that young man from France right now.
I love to see the emotion. He's so happy, so pumped up. He's got his entire family here. It's been a rough year for Thomas.
Yep.
It's a rough year, and you know what? He just loves to see the progression of this sport, and what he did tonight was more progression than there's ever been.
So let's look at these World Tour standings after 3 events. Levi Sherwood still on top with 200 points. Sheeny in second place. And I missed the last part of it. Thomas sitting in third now.
Thomas made it to third with 145.
So this win here tonight definitely helps Thomas's case in the overall standings, you know. And now we've got 2 more events. We've got Munich coming up on the 19th of July, and then we move on to Pretoria, South Africa. You know, those 2 events are going to be battle zone events for the top 3 to 5 guys, you know?
Well, it's going to be a very different course when we go to Munich. It's going to be open. It's going to be out. There's going to be floating jumps and landings on barges.
It's on the lake in the Olympic Park in Munich, so it's going to be a very, very interesting and different style course from here.
Very different. And you know what? On different courses, we see different guys excelling because their skills really translate to different courses differently. So it's going to be amazing to see who can learn what over the next 3 weeks before Munich.
All right, well, we've had a great time up here tonight at one of the most fantastic events, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed our show out there for the Red Bull X Fighters from Plaza de Toros de las Ventas in Madrid, Spain. For Andy Bell, I'm Troy Mannering. Say goodbye, and we'll see you all in Munich, Germany at the Olympic Park in 3 weeks. Ciao, everyone.